Yeah, everyone's gonna go Pally, and then they're just gonna queue up his DPS and not heal. All right, let's start this. So yesterday was the Bless Press event, and we're going over all the class skills. This is the Ranger. Now, I don't know how to put this. I guess it's the most controversial. A lot of people, I think, are quite unsure of what to think of Ranger. My first impressions are, I don't want to say it's bad or worse. It just seems kind of weird or different. We'll get into it, but we're gonna start off with the non-stance skills. If you want this spreadsheet, it will be down below in the comment section, so grab that. While we go through this, starting off, non-stance. Locate. Disables the sneak state of enemies lurking around you. Yes, that refers to stealth. No, nobody currently has stealth in the game. 15-second cooldown. Doesn't say what the range is. I don't know. So I've been telling other people, the one thing to keep in mind when going through these non-stance skills are there's non-stance enhancements. These are very vital and important to these skills. We do not have information on them. They can completely change the way a skill functions and works. This could give you a crit damage, a crit buff. This could give you, it could buff your party. It could do other things. We don't know. But yeah, so don't take the non-stance skills at face value. There will be more effects to them. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these. Nerve Wreck, 25-second cooldown, small stun, decent damage. Pretty straightforward. If I remember correctly, there was the enhancement for this one. I saw a glimpse of it was increased damage, and then add an additional 0.5 seconds to the stun. I think that's what it was. So CC, not bad. High angle fire stance, 30% reduced move speed, but any enemies more than 15 meters away take 10% more damage. Not really sure if that trade-off is worth. PvE, sure, right? PvP, you're pushing it. I don't know if you can get away with that in PvP. Probably not. Smoke bomb. Fire a smoke bomb, reducing movement speed of enemies. This drops it under you, and you can't really, you can't actually throw it unless they change it, but 30-second cooldown. I guess, oops, I forgot to mention, you can toggle this on and off, but smoke bomb had additional effects, like increase the slope %, increase allies' move speed, poison targets, that kind of thing for the enhancement. So kind of crappy at base, but did you play Ion Healers? Were able to one-shot people on DPS mode. I did not. That sounds like Pally in this game. Maybe not one-shot, but so yeah. Steady concentration instantly gains 25 concentration on a 60-second cooldown. 25 concentration, not bad, but for 60 seconds, I feel like 25 would be better. At least 45 seconds, if not 30. So I assume you can enhance this to give back more, reduce the cooldown. When you look at something, you're like, it seems like it's not that good. It's because it's the base skill. So dodge, this is kind of the old Ranger's shift. It functions the way the old shift does, but the way it works is it's just a roll. Yeah, it's the same as Zerker roll. You just do a little roll forward on a 30-second cooldown. Removes CC, and you can move by rolling in 8 directions. Maybe you can roll backwards, like diagonally. I don't know. Yeah, but this is your CC break. The drop back type of ability that the old CC break was is its own separate ability now. So we'll go over that later. I mentioned this with Mage. Possibly you could enhance this to maybe get a second charge, so you could use it twice, or reduce the cooldown, maybe give you a buff after you use it, such as move speed or defense. Yeah. Hunting Trap. I don't know if this is a bug or not, but this thing does a lot of damage. It's kind of whatever on Japan. 20-second cooldown. You have to activate it, ground target, and then you fire it, and it locks you in animation to set it up. So it's like, kind of rough to use, but pays off in the end because of that damage is oof. I don't remember if I don't think I saw Vacuum Trap anywhere, unfortunately. I really liked that one. So we'll look through there, but this is one of your few hunting traps or traps. Hunting trap reduces move speed 30% for 3 seconds. Kind of whatever. Could increase it through enhancements, like I said. So maybe you can enhance this to turn it into Vacuum Trap, which is a knockup attack. That'd be pretty cool. Barrage, this one I know for sure you can enhance to increase the duration. Creates a protective shield that absorbs all damage from Proj attacks. This is not literal Proj attacks. This is referring to physical Proj attacks. So this is just against other archers. This does not work against projectiles from mages, if you're curious. But yeah, same thing. Enhancements, we don't know. Those are the non-stance skills. Ugh. I don't really know what to say about these. I mean, you're going to have this, and then I guess stun, concentration, hunting trap. All of this for PvE. Barrage, if you know you're gonna fight an archer. Meh. I don't know. Like I said, the enhancements are pretty important for Ranger, it seems. So Ranger not off to the best start. These all seem very bland and generic. It almost feels like Ranger was just kind of one of the last things they got to, and it feels a little rushed, a little kind of pushed together before it was ready. So what does concentration do? It is the resource for Ranger. So kind of like mana, you spend it quickly, regain it quickly. Like focus, if you ever played World of Warcraft, hunters. Emissary Garth, I'm back. Look at that sick picture, dude. Did you get any good info on Zerker? I have all their skills, yes. You can take a look. I think they look very good. I think Zerkers are looking really good. We're about to go over Zerker after this video, so. I'm back. Did you miss me? Everyone's back. 1 second immunity only against other Rangers, not worth. Right, it's definitely not worth pressing at the base level, but when you enhance it to last 5 seconds, starts to maybe, if you have that against another Ranger, you'll turn the tide. I know, I made it. I know, dude. Ranger look good. We're going over Ranger right now, and we will decide together. All right, first up, Orange Stance. I know, aptly named, right? I didn't catch all the stance names. I just kind of named them myself. Orange, what do we got here? They're all DPS stances for Ranger. We have our basic attack, which is what we've replaced auto attacks with. We have basic attack chains. So launch into continuous fire. You can spam these two back and forth. 1.6 second cooldown on launch. Pretty close to spam. You might be a little locked out, but this is what your filler is right here. Followed up with Prudent Shot. Now, Prudent Shot is used a lot in a lot of different combos, and it is completely different on completely different combos. This one, so we try to get as many as we could. They all have different effects. Some of them stun, some of them deal more damage. So I apologize if some of these aren't right, but this one says stuns the target when used at full power. May or may not have been a stun. I'm not sure. Like I said, take those with a grain of salt, but it is Prudent Shot. You channel it. You can move while channeling it. It takes about a second to channel it and fire it. So yeah, Mage and Guardian are all done. They'll be going up on YouTube. We have auto attack, or basic attack, sorry. Basic attack, basic attack. Now this, well, maybe not basic attack. It does quite a bit of damage. These do consume focus, so, or concentration. I'm not quite sure how you get concentration back besides passively. On Mage, you can enhance your basic attack to regenerate mana. Possibly the same on Ranger, but the fact that I guess you just reduce the concentration consumed. But yeah, we might see as we're going through this. Then we have Mark of the Fugitive, which is just another ranged damage attack, followed by Rapid Fire. This is a pretty good skill on Japan, where you constantly channel arrows into an enemy. Nice solid skill. This is, I don't see a cooldown here or here. I don't know if you can just launch, mark, rapid, launch, mark, rapid. Some of these tooltips are kind of odd to read. I don't think they're finished by any means, but a lot of classes seem to have very short cooldowns. Yeah, full power for prudent shot's about 1 second to hold it, and you can move while channeling it. Prudent shot, again, this one says if you gather the maximum amount of power, the damage will increase, and you can gather power while moving. So it's a nice little combo starter. 5-second cooldown, not too bad. Fatal Arrow, nice chunk of damage into penetrating shot, which does damage to all enemies it passes through. A little bit of AoE, nothing too crazy, but it's an okay little combo. Prudent shot into moving shot. 10-second cooldown on moving shot, just a little more damage than a basic attack. Into snipe. So this is your first snipe combo you have access to. Prudent shot, moving shot, snipe. So channel, instant, and then snipe's like, I don't even know, 2.5 seconds roughly, somewhere between 2 and 3 seconds to get to full power on snipe. The more you channel, the more damage you do. You can't move on Japan. I didn't see if anyone tried to move while casting snipe on NA and EU. I'm pretty sure you can't though. How diverse are the skill builds? Fairly diverse. A lot of classes are pretty diverse. Some are a little more similar, but higher your current concentration, the higher the hit rate. So I assume it does more damage the more concentration you have, but always consumes the same amount. The maximum level of power is gathered, your attack will not miss and damage will increase. Meaning if you fully charge snipe, does more damage and it can't miss, that's pretty nice. Applies poor condition effect, increases damage taken by 2% for 7 seconds. Possible that you can enhance snipe to increase the damage taken buff. We'll have to see. Launch basic attack into arrow of density. Deals damage to the enemy, increases damage taken when the ranger is not moving or movement speed has been reduced. That's pretty cool. So if you stand still and fire that, it'll do more damage. So if you can like move and kite around and stop for a second, fire it off, you know, channel your prudent shot, fire launch, stop, arrow of density, or if someone slowed you, it does more damage. That's kind of cool. I like that interaction. Provide a little more skill to the playstyle. Snipe's damage is small on this because that's at the very base level. If you just tapped snipe, that's how much damage it would do. Snipe's tooltip damage doesn't reflect how much it is when fully charged. So that doesn't say how much it is when fully charged plus the buff you get when fully charging, or the higher your current concentration and the higher the hit rate. Hit rate makes it almost sound like chance to miss instead of damage, but this is the base damage of snipe before channeling. Binding arrow. 20-second cooldown. Deals damage to the enemy and inflicts a root, which makes it unable to move for 1 second. This is, I believe, AoE on Japan. It doesn't seem to be AoE here. You could follow it with a moving shot. Again, 45 damage. I assume that was from a level 1. Barrage. Fire a series of arrows toward the enemy, inflicting damage to the target and its surroundings. Can be used up to 2 times in a row. You will be pushed back a little when using the skill. Continuous use increases damage. This skill's okay. Nothing too special about it. Not a big deal. It exists. I guess it's kind of like a little bit of AoE, so. Increased damage given. Oh, I didn't even notice this. I assumed it was that, but when it says increased damage taken when the ranger is not moving or movement speed. Yeah, I assume this is a typo. I assumed it was you do more damage. Maybe you take more damage if you use it while standing still. I hope not. But yeah, I think you're right. Playing Zerker, I did not have the opportunity to see you still playing with him. I didn't go to the press event. I didn't play anything. I haven't decided what I'm going to play yet. There's too many to choose from. So what do we have? Binding arrow into launch into fatal arrow. So root and then damage. Not a bad combo. Binding arrow into vengeful arrow, which is just instant damage, into enhancement. Applies enhancement effect, which increases damage dealt to the enemy by 5% for 3 seconds. This seems terrible. For 25 concentration, 5% damage increase for 3 seconds. Obviously, you can do some enhancements to it, but oof. So first stance from Ranger seems pretty straightforward. I don't really see a theme to it. It just seems like basic stance to me. Nothing special. Nothing standing out. Too many to choose from. The less amount of classes there are, the lower the amount of classes, the harder it is, dude. So close. So moving on to yellow stance. Ooh. There's not really a theme throughout these stances. There's a little bit of AoE kind of stances, but Ranger is not known for their AoE, so. Start with Snipe in this stance. 20-second cooldown. Deal damage to the enemy. You can gather up to 2, but cannot move while gathering power. So here it states that you can't move while doing it, and it doesn't have all that extra junk at the bottom of the tooltip. So possibly different, possibly the same. Lost in translation. Who knows? Spinning arrow. Deal damage to the enemy. Pushes target back. This is your knockback arrow. This is really nice. But it's locked behind Snipe. Hopefully spinning arrow is in a few more spots. I do know spinning arrow's icon was used in other places. Whether or not they all knock back, some of them don't list it as a knockback. I don't know. So I'm kind of hoping you can get spinning arrow, you know, without having to combo. I guess this is an okay combo if this one even knocks back. Otherwise, I don't know. Spinning arrow, so you do Snipe and then you knock them back and then you channel a Prudent Shot. Sounds good to me. If you crit with this one, you get your concentration back. So what's up, John? How's it going, dude? Snipe into Mark, so instant, and then Strafe. Deal damage to enemies within a sector area in front. I don't remember if Strafe was the one where they like spin around and fire or not, but okay, I guess. AoE attack, Snipe, Mark, AoE. Alright. Snipe, instant cast, increase damage dealt to enemies affected by Mark. Okay. Still not really feeling any kind of theme here. Is this game fun? Do I buy it? Yes. Prudent Shot. Gather the maximum amount of power. Damage increases. You can also gather power while moving. 5-second cooldown. Oh, this one's 15. I couldn't get the tooltip for this one, but this is a 15-second cooldown. Binding Arrow. This one doesn't say that it roots. Interesting. I assumed it did, but this one doesn't list a root. Into another Prudent Shot. Prudent Shot, probably a root. Into Prudent Shot. Okay. Mark of the Fugitive. Instant cast on a 30-second cooldown into a Snipe. This is like the other Snipe. More damage, the more you channel. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, yeah, Ranger's a class. I'm just not really feeling the synergy at this point. What would be the best tactic when starting the game? Speed run to level cap and do stuff? Yeah. Definitely want to get to max level as fast as possible for sure. Yeah, it has to root, right? I don't know why it's lost in translation tooltips, I guess. Prudent, instant cast. Now this was a knockback on another one. Will it knock back on this one? I hope. I don't know. This is like so hard to go through Ranger. All the other classes I can kind of get a feel for and I see where they're going with it, but all right, I guess. Look at these spreadsheets until launch. Hell yeah, dude. They are a class. They exist. Yeah, the tooltips have to still be worked on. I hope, at least. Ranger is the most efficient class since it's almost the same as in Japan, so you don't have to learn anything ultimate efficiency. Ranger is the same range as Mage? That's a good question. It seems like it. Ranger has a passive that increases their range on Japan, so it's possible that one of the stances have a range increase on NA and EU that we weren't able to see. At least Ranger breathes. Yeah, and of course, a lot of the gem stuff hides a lot of stuff we aren't sure about, so. Poison Arrow. None of the poison arrows listed actually applying poison. I don't want to say they removed poison because that was a pretty key aspect to some Ranger builds was the poison builds. So Doesn't list it, but it does poison on it. Japan. I don't know. Instant cast into... I couldn't find this skill. I tried so hard. I don't know what this skill is. I have no idea. I got nothing. It's not on Japan. I assume it was on Korea, but I didn't play Korea, so I don't know. I couldn't find this skill. I tried. I looked through every Ranger bot and I couldn't find it. Poison arrow, instant cast, instant cast. Increased damage if used while moving. Interesting. So this is a nice little on the move spec, it looks like so far. Yeah, over here, instant cast, instant cast. This is a nice little, you know, you're moving, you're just firing, right? This doesn't have a cooldown, instant cast. Okay, I like this. This is your mobility instant cast. You don't gotta charge anything. Spam, 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 spam. No cooldowns. I like it. But I don't even know what to make of the rest of this stuff. It's fine, I guess. It's not bad. I just, like, well, I don't know what they're trying to do with Ranger. Blue. This is a spec. I think this is meant to be, I don't want to say AoE focused. It's hard to make an AoE spec when your class has no AoE, but yeah. So we have Rain of Arrows. Yeah, I know. Sick tooltips, right? Right. Fires an enormous number of arrows at the target location, causing damage over time to enemies within the area. Reduces move speed of enemies. So you have to stand still, you channel this, fire some arrows, and they fall down, right? Alright. Vengeful Arrow. Instant cast damage. Prudent Shot. Same as the other ones. Increase damage by 20% if the Prudence effect has been applied one or more times. What the hell is that? I don't know. I assume it has something to do with stances? What is the Prudence effect? We use concentration, but we have Prudent Shot. Oh, I don't know. It's got to be something tied into stances or enhances. Lots of unknowns still. Missile Rain from Arcage. Basically, yeah. Pretty much. I don't even know my own command. Alright, next we have after Rain of Arrows, launch. Oh, this is also a 20-second cooldown. Launch into Strafe. This is your, I believe, the spin around, fire the arrows real quick attack. So AoE, AoE, alright. And then we have AoE into instant cast into rapid fire. So you have two single target options out of AoE and then one AoE out of AoE, I guess. Okay. Now we get into the sudden attack tier. Oh, good. This hurts to look at for anyone that played Japan. You have sudden attack. Stabs the enemy with hidden weapon. For anyone that doesn't know, this is a melee range attack, okay? That's okay. You have to use this melee range attack to then get access to breakaway. All these breakaways jump you backwards, so that's nice. If you're in melee, it's like a disengage, right? But you have to be in melee to do this. You also have to be in this pseudo AoE spec to get access to this. So you get to jump away. You attack, break away, you flip backwards. Okay, cool. Down. Explosive trap. Place a trap. When the trap explodes, deals damage to enemies in a radius. Okay. Not terrible, but I mean, I could see its uses. You know, you're in melee range, you disengage, do some damage, drop a trap, the melee follows, they hit the trap. Sure, okay. Melee range attack. Instant attack. Deals 0 damage, by the way. And then breakaway. So if I'm in melee range, I then have to use a instant ranged attack before I can use my melee range disengage. This also has to be in melee range for people that don't know. Why are these not switched? Is it just so you don't have 3 breakaways in a row? Because I can tell you right now, you should flip these two. Bound you through Fever's new video. I totally love theory crafting. Sheets are blessed. Take my follow. Thanks, dude. Glad to hear it. If you have any questions, let me know. Why would I even go melee, though? That's a great question. If you're forced into melee, can we skip this bland class? I don't know. We're almost done, but at least on this one, it also knocks back the enemy, so that's nice, but you create some real distance here. I guess that's the drawback, is because of how much distance you create. They make you do this in between. I don't know, but sure. Breakaway, same thing here. Jump back, and then we get to... Oh, God. This is the only area they have Silencing Arrow in. Silencing Arrow is your interrupt/silence. It interrupts stuff like casts and some bosses, and then puts a 1.5 second silence. You have to go through a melee attack, a melee disengage, and then you can use Silencing Arrow. Are you kidding me? Actually kidding me? Why does this have a 20-meter range? I mean, I guess you disengage, but I can't silence unless I'm in melee range, theoretically. You can never get access to this skill if you don't use the first two melee skills. And yeah, why is this not on non-stand? Why is Silencing Arrow buried in a 3-chain? It'd be fine if it was 2 ranged abilities first, but the fact that it's 2 melee and it's not on non-stance, I don't even know what they're thinking on this. I'm at a total loss. Start scrapping when they get in melee. Ranger/brawler. I have a question, I never played. Sure, only play healers. I'm a bit concerned about the combo chain healing. What do you think? I actually just finished up Paladin video not too long ago. If you want to watch a detailed description of Paladin. But the short of it is, healing seems kind of awkward on Paladin. It's not bad per se, it's just really, really awkward with the combo system, and it was definitely designed with DPS involved. A lot of people aren't happy with how Paladin healers look. I think it's different, but yeah. So yeah, intended rangers get raped by mages. Yeah, so think about that. If you ever want to silence a mage or a pally, you have to run up to them in melee range. You can't even use a movement cooldown towards them, because all your movement cooldowns are disengages, and they both require targets. So you can't disengage backward as a ranger. We'll get to that later, but yeah. I don't know. This triggers me. Someone doesn't play this class, or I don't know what. Vertigo. You like this sick tooltip I got? 30-second cooldown. Removes the stacked... God damn, I can't read this. Physical something effects and increases physical fighting power by 5%. So basically it sounds something like it removes... Oh, it removes prudence. So however you get those prudence stacks, this will remove your stacks and give you a damage buff for every stack of the buff consumed. I don't know how to get the prudence stacks. It's got to be tied into stances or something. There's just hidden passives on all the classes. They're not listed anywhere. I don't know. This class is frustrating me. So you use this 30-second long. You can get a big damage buff. What can we follow up with this damage buff? That's what I want to know. Moving shot. Instant cast. Okay damage. Okay. Scars of defeat. Shoot arrows, inflicting venom effect on the enemy. Finally, we got a poison attack. What do we got here? For 10 seconds, and then the weakened immunity effect for 3. Increases the damage dealt by the caster to enemies affected by weakened immunity. Okay. Does it even do damage, or does it just inflict the poison? I guess it just inflicts the poison, but sure. Arrow of density. This doesn't list what the other one did before, where you do more damage if standing still or slowed. I assume it does? I don't know. That's okay to follow up with Vertigo if you can stand still and do more damage. Spinning arrow. What? Increases damage by 10% when hit by an enemy. Does it still... This is supposed to be your knockback, Does it still knock back? I could understand if it's like, oh, an enemy's within 5 meters, you fire it off, you knock them back, and you get a buff because they were so close to you, and you didn't use it from long range. Cool. Does it knock back? I assume so. I don't know. Silencing arrow, it's punishment. They get close to you, you jump away, shut their mouth, so they don't go near you anymore, and they have no idea how it happened. But what if a mage doesn't go near you? The person you want to punish with silencing arrow is going to be a long range character. Silence don't work on melee and physical skills. I was wondering if you would be able to have some insight into what the best class to run with a pocket healer would be for small scale. Zerker, in my opinion. Class ruins my booze. Here to have a good time. Judge me all you want. I don't get why it's that. I don't know. I don't know why it's such a big deal to people, but can't you just use vertical and then cancel the chain to a chain with high damage? True, but I'm not quite sure which chain you do with that yet. Ideally, you'd want to do snipe, right? But vertigo lasts for 5 seconds. So I guess you could get a snipe off, and then maybe you could do snipe, spinning arrow, prudent shot. Also, I don't think you get locked off as stance swapping. You definitely don't want to follow. I guess you could do maybe rain of arrows if you're trying to do AoE, but I guess you could do vertigo, stance swap, and then do like this combo. I could see that. I just don't know. Yeah. This whole set of stances is just kind of weird. Anyway, last one, spinning arrow, binding arrow, deal damage, inflicts, root. So this one roots as well. Probably. Yeah, okay. That's a big thing you have to remember is they want you to stance dance. They want you to stance swap a lot. They want you to be constantly in and out of your stances if the cooldown allows it. NA will love these changes. Was Ranger OP or something in Japan? The class isn't necessarily nerfed. They're just kind of limited in what they can do. Paladin's gonna be good for solo farming? Yeah. Can you swap stances mid-combat? Yes. Cost anything? No. Well, I guess it depends on the class. Some of them require some of them require resources, but I don't think it doesn't allow you to swap if you don't have them. You just gain bonus effects if you spend the resources when swapping. Yeah, I agree. I think Silence Arrow should be non-combo. Okay. Retreating Shot. This is your other mobility skill. You have to be within 10 meters and have a target. And then you jump backwards and do damage. Okay, I guess. You have to have a target and they have to be within 10 meters. They really like forcing rangers up close, huh? Enjoyed watching the stream today. Thanks, dude. See you, man. Take it easy. Have a good night. So yeah. Better than nothing. 30-second cooldown. Moving shot, instant cast. This is the same skill I couldn't figure out before. I couldn't find it. Poison arrow, doesn't say that it poisons. Hope it poisons still. Spinning arrow, doesn't say it knocks back. I don't know. Another spinning arrow, doesn't say it knocks back. I don't know. Arrow of density, doesn't say it does more damage when standing still. I don't know. Some of these were so scuffed. Tooltips. I don't even know what this last stance is like aiming for. This is, oh god, I forgot about this. So considering playing Japan just to learn leveling, that'd be pretty worth if you want to go hard. You like that pasta? Nightbot, chill. Alright. Snipe. 20-second cooldown, same as the other snipes. Okay. Continuous fire, instant cast. I couldn't find this skill either. On Japan, it's a passive that increases the damage people take if they're slowed. Now it's an active skill. No idea what it is. Same icon though. Moving shot, instant cast, 30-second cooldown. Fatal Arrow. Now, this is the way it functions on Japan, but on every other Fatal Arrow, as you can see, it's just instant cast damage. Consumes all remaining concentration. Skill damage increases in proportion to consumed concentration. This is a heavy hitting combo. 20 concentration consumed snipe into moving shot for 10, and then a Fatal Arrow will consume the rest of your concentration. This is a very, very heavy hitting combo. This is very scary in terms of blowing someone up, because, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm going to skip this. I'm going to come back. This right here, Precise Aim, 5% crit chance for 5 seconds. It's a little different than Japan. Japan is flat damage. You can, I'm assuming, enhance this to get more crit, maybe up to 10%. Right. So here's my thought. You start in this stance, right? You get your vertigo buff, you swap to this stance, pop Precise Aim, snipe, moving shot, Fatal Arrow. Can you get them all off in 5 seconds from vertigo to Precise Aim to snipe? Maybe. You can get snipe off with both. Fatal Arrow, probably not. But think about popping vertigo, Precise Aim, channel a snipe, moving shot, Fatal Arrow. That is some fast, high damage right there. Now, snipe does have a channel time, right? Possible that you could reduce the time it takes to channel it with an enhancement. But that is some very, very scary quick and fast burst damage right there, for sure. Something to keep in mind. Now, we're going to go back, and I'm going to ask, we have snipe, Mark of the Fugitive into Precise Aim. Now, this one is different than this one because it aims at the enemy precisely, increase the damage of the following skills by 10% for 5 seconds. This is a third chain skill. What are you going to do after this? You snipe and then mark and then precise. I guess you do it and you use this chain? But if you do that, then you don't have vertigo, which I guess is okay. Because you could just do this, 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 this. But if you want to do this every time, you're never going to do this. So I assume if you combo these stances, you do vertigo, precise, this combo. If you combo this stance with this stance, you go up this way and then go that way. If people don't know, skills don't share cooldowns as well. So you can, presumably, you can back-to-back snipe. As far as I'm aware, you could snipe, stance swap, snipe. From my understanding of the skill system, they are separate cooldowns. So theoretically, you can double snipe as a ranger, which I don't think a lot of people have considered at the moment. But from my understanding, it seems very possible. Plate armor melee ranger. You can put plate armor on. You'll lose some damage, but yeah, some of the chains are kind of odd, but I can see the potential in them. Alright, so we have... I think they just wanted precise aim at the start of a combo because these follow-ups are kind of wonky, but you got precise aim, then you got an instant, then you have poison instant, prudent, which is a channel, and then instant. They're not bad, actually. I think more than likely this precise aim is just here so that you can use it at the start of a combo and then switch to another combo chain, and you're not really ever going to follow these unless the other skills are on cooldown. But so yeah, ranger, I don't know, it's just kind of awkward. No, it's just kind of, I'm not really sure. I don't it's definitely not bad at all. Ranger isn't bad. I think that's a bit of an overreaction. Is it as good or as exciting as the other classes? No, I don't think so. Ranger, at its core, is not a very flashy class, right? It's similar to Guardian, where the effects are very tame. You're just shooting arrows, right? So I think a lot of people would be drawn to Ranger that like those big damage single target numbers, right? That's the draw to the class. That's what people are going for. So yeah, that's Ranger. Going over all the classes